writers. Today's question comes from an anonymous writer who says, I'm writing a multiple point of view book, one that switches from one character's perspective to another's. I need to know how to keep the narrative straight, whether the characters are sharing the same space or not. I like this question because multiple viewpoint stories are really popular, and it can be a challenge to differentiate between the various viewpoints. So I've got a few quick tips to help with this. First, only one person should be narrating at a time. This question mentions characters sharing the same space, but that's how the story can get really confusing for readers because they don't know who's talking. It's switching back and forth. To keep things clear, choose one character to narrate a given chapter or scene. Then, when you start a new chapter, switch narrators. This makes it easier for readers because once they've identified who's talking, they won't have to think about it again until the next chapter break. Second tip, give each narrator their own distinct voice. Every person, every character sees the world through their own lens. The things they notice, the words they use, the comparisons they make, what they value and believe, everything is filtered through their own unique perspective. So get to know each of your narrators really, really well. Practice writing from each of their perspectives to develop their unique voice and way of seeing things. Then when you write your story, each chapter will be flavored with a narrator's voice. And it won't take readers long to get to know those voices and recognize them right away, who's speaking. And there's going to be no confusion. Number 3, for a dual narrative, consider using a different tense or viewpoint for each character. So one narrator may speak in past tense and the other speaks in present tense. Or one speaks from the first person point of view and the other is in third person. Readers will pick up on the pattern and it'll be easy for them to identify who's talking. Number 4, a simple hack that a lot of authors use is to just use the chapter title to indicate who's speaking. When a new chapter starts, it says Jennifer, and chapter 2 says Mark, and so on. It's the same technique that authors use when they're writing parallel stories that are happening in different time periods. The chapters have the time indicator on there. It's become pretty common, so it's an easy way to provide clarity for readers. Lastly, before you start drafting, study multiple viewpoint stories. Find the ones that have distinctly different narrators, stories where you as the reader had no doubt who was telling the story at any given time. Analyze those stories. See what tips or tricks the author used to achieve that end. Then find character voice exercises online and use those to develop each narrator's unique perspective. With a little study and a lot of practice, their individual voices will become natural and easy to write. I hope you found this mini Q&A helpful. If you have questions of your own, please submit them because I'd love to answer them. Happy writing.